All right, let's talk about rein aids in congruence with your center. So, as I've said before, you want to ride with two reins as if they're one. And Western riders will relate really well to this and have an upper hand in this, because if you have to do something with one of your hands, then you're going to work the horse one-handed as if those two reins are one rein. In other words, your body is doing the majority of the steering, and the reins work together to help you control the movement of the horse. So if you're working a gait, or you're working a cow, or you're doing something with another hand, then your two reins will act as one. And that's basically what we want to get to in dressage. But that's something English riders can struggle a lot with, because they often are not taught how to work their body and reins in congruence. They're taught to make each rein do a different manipulation, where the whole organizational balance of the body of the horse and the rider are not taken into account. And what I mean by that is, if you go to like a ringside and you sit in a lesson, in a lot of English riding lessons, what you'll hear is the inside rein makes the flexion, the outside rein holds the shoulder, the inside rein makes the bend, and those are all true, except for you can see what that does to my body is it starts to make the squinky things that we don't want. So when you're riding with two reins as one, then your center helps you organize your hands and helps you organize the horse via your hand. So your energy comes from behind, so that's generated from the hindquarters of the horse, but the steering comes from the shoulders. And that's one of the biggest misunderstandings, is a lot of times we think we're steering the mouth of the horse, whereas many of you may know it's very easy to make the head go one way and the other without the body following. And anyone who's ever been bucked off while the horse turns around and looks directly into your eyeballs will know that the neck can go one way and the shoulders can go another. So we want the horse to steer via the shoulders. So their shoulders turn and their neck stays, and generally their head will go where their shoulders will go. So if I am turning to the right using both reins as one, then that would look like this. It's very simple. So I have an indirect rein and a direct rein. So my outside rein, if I'm turning right, my outside rein is the left rein, my inside rein is the right rein, and they work together in tandem. So my outside rein will come slightly against the shoulder, my inside rein will lead slightly open. And then if I'm going straight, they'll both be level. If I'm going left, then my right rein would be the outside rein, my inside rein would be the left rein. So indirect rein, direct rein, working together. That's as opposed to turn right, turn left, or the cardinal sin, which would be to cross the rein over the neck. And when we get into lateral movements, that's when things get even trickier. So let's say I'm trying to do like a shoulder and left. This would be crossing the inside rein across the neck of the horse in an attempt to make the flexion. This is my inside rein working in opposition of my outside rein. Now I've got a clashed aid, and the horse is actually going to twist their head to the outside. That's going to make me have to add more aids, add more aids, add more aids. So we want to make the aids as simple and congruent as possible, and we don't want aids opposing each other. So if I'm riding like a shoulder and left, for example, I have an outside rein holding the line of travel, holding the outside track, and an inside rein creating flexion, and my seat bones going down the line like so. So it's actually harder to show you on a chair and this thing, because I can't swing my seat bones. But basically the reins working in congruence of each other have a direct rein and an indirect rein, even in lateral movements. So I basically keep my elbows framed on either side of my shoulder. My seat bones generate the movement through the hindquarters, and then my hands support. The outside rein creates the track of travel, or how far out the horse should go on a track. In other words, what's the outside of that track? So if I'm going on a straight line, then I have two reins creating that track, like a railroad track that I guide the horse through. If I'm going on a bend, bending right, then my left rein is the outside perimeter of how far that bend should go, and my inside rein creates the inside flexion in congruence with my seat. So I don't do crossing over things. I definitely am not going to do this kind of thing where you pull the rein back into your pocket, so that's going to cause the horse to overbend their neck. So your reins aids work to frame the shape that your seat has created. So that's one of the reasons why the elbow is so important in keeping a soft bend in your elbow, because as soon as we get the palms turning over, the hands turning backward, the arms straightening out, then we make it very difficult to use the center and to use the Rein aids in congruence with center. So in a nutshell, indirect Rein and direct Rein work together on whatever shape you're trying to do. Your core and seat bones create the track of travel, the rhythm and the tempo. That means where you're going, what gait you're in, how fast you're doing it. That's generated through here, supported by the leg as needed. And then your reins frame and support that shape that you are creating. So your Rein aids are in support of your seat, not in opposition or as a standalone.